Now that you've drawn out your wireframe and either scanned it or have it sitting beside you, it's time to bring your idea to Fireworks. And what you don't do with Fireworks is just open up a brand new document and go right to work. That's just not going to work. You need a framework to work from, and that's from a template. And templates are brand new to Fireworks CS5. Now you can access templates in a number of ways. If you're on the welcome screen and create new, you can create a new document from a template. Now I'm going to close this. I'll show you two other ways of doing it. If you're in the File menu, you can select New from Template right here, or even better, if you're already got a document open and you want to open a template, you just go to New Document, click the Templates button, and you come to the templates. Now you would think that if we're building a wireframe, you would want to use the wireframes. Well, these are not going to work. Basically, what these do is show you how to construct a wireframe or give you the look of how a wireframe is constructed. These are pre-built. And if you're doing a restaurant site, well, you might want to work with this, but then again, it's a template. And if you're going to have the same look as everybody else that's using the template, how are you going to set yourself apart from your client? The web are basically designs already. Mobile, same thing, mainly designs. The document presets just give you the sizes of various canvas sizes that you can use. What we want are the grid systems. And the grid systems are based on columns. There's 4, 8, 12, and 16 column grids. And these are based on a 960 pixel grid. And the one we want is the 16 column grid. So you select it and you can get a preview of it. Click Open. And when the grid opens, you can see that it's a series of squares in a big blue area. The blue area is where the content's going to go. And down the side here is a grayish area. This is sort of like a rumble strip on the highway. This is where you don't want content to go. You want content to go between that line and that line. And you can see that they're already there in the Layers panel. So if I turn off the visibility of the leading, you can see the horizontal lines all disappear. And this is a pattern, by the way, based upon a 16-column grid. The sidebars, those are the two little gray things at the edge. And of course, the grid itself, this is the blue area. So if I turn that off, you can see that it's gone. Now, this may not look like an evenly spaced grid, and it's just more of a magnification issue than anything else with Fireworks. If you zoom in, you can see that the lines are evenly spaced. So we'll take it to 100%, and you can see, there we go. There's all your evenly spaced lines. Now, I'm going to go back to the View menu, Fit All. And sometimes we just don't want to deal with just a preset size. But let's make the page a little bit bigger. And this page here is currently 1040 by 1040. Let's keep it at 1040 wide, but we're going to want it 1080 high or 1080 on the length. So you just type in 1080 there, and what we're going to do is scale it, but we're going to scale it from the center of the top of the page. That's what you want to do. Now, if you've got multiple pages that you already have here, you can deselect the current page for the size here, and it will just ripple through every page that you've got in the document. Just click OK. And you can see now that the page has gotten bigger, but we got this big white area at the bottom. Let's deal with that. The first thing you want to do is just open up your Layers panel. And what we're going to have to do is work our way down. So we're going to, first off, unlock the leading. Now the leading, as I said, were the lines. And if you get your selection tool, twirl down the leading and click on the rectangle, you can see that it's a fill and it's a baseline 18. So that's 18 pixels or 18 points for the baseline. So that's where the text is going to go. Now, if you were to stretch this out, you would destroy that grid. There's a way of maintaining the integrity of that grid. And where you do that is right here in the preferences. So if you're on a Mac, you're going to go to Fireworks Preferences. And if you're on a PC, you're going to go to Edit, and at the bottom of the Edit menu will be your preferences. And when the preferences open, I want you to deselect Scale, Strokes, and Effects. That way you're not going to have these thick lines or these distorted lines in the grid. Click OK. And now what we can do is we can come over to the Properties panel, and let's do it by the numbers. Let's make the height 1080 pixels. So you just 1080, return, and it just drops right onto the page. The other thing we can do is we can change the sidebars if we wish. And you do that just simply by twirling it down, and there are the paths. You see, there are your sidebars. Now, see, the sidebars are not the proper size either. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these paths and make it 1080. So we'll just change the height to 1080 for this one on the right side of the page. And then we'll click on this one there. And we'll make it 1080 as well. Now that we've dealt with that, we can relock the leading and we can lock the sidebars. And now we're going to have to deal with the grid. Because the grid is this blue area here, and you can see that it doesn't really come down to the bottom of the page. So you click on it, and we just change its height to 1080. And what you've got now is your grid for your wireframe, and you can start building. So in this exercise, what I've done is I've shown you how to use a template, how to change a template, how to choose a template, and some of the things that you can and cannot do with templates. Remember that one of the keys is not to introduce distortions, so make sure that when you're in the preferences, you deselect scale, strokes, and effects. Now, if you have deselected, this is going to be for all documents, so you might want to reselect it after you finish your work. At this stage of the game, you might just want to save this file because what we're going to do is start building on it.